Assalamu alaikum to all my dear students. Today we will learn new chapter in EVS 1, chapter number 13, directions and maps. So students, tell me, from where the sun rises? Do you have seen? Let's do some practical. So at the early morning when you get up, you go outside and see from the where sun rises. Okay, the direction from the sun rises is east, is always east. So from where the sun rises from the direction east, and exactly opposite direction is called as west. So see, there are four directions are given, that is east, west, north and south. Okay, at the east it is give the picture of heart, and in the west there is a picture of tree. At the same time, at the north side it the picture of clock, and in the south side the picture of house. So students, if you are standing at some point and facing towards the sunrise, okay, so that direction is called east, and the exactly opposite direction from where you standing is called west. Suppose you are facing towards the east, and at the right side shows the south direction, and on the left hand side of yours shows the north direction. So students, how many main directions are there? There are four main directions, that is east, west, south and north. Or in simple way we can say that the direction in which the sun rises is called the east, and the direction in which the sun sets is called the west. When we stand facing the east, the north directions comes to our left hand and the south comes to our right hand. The east faces the west. See, the east direction faces the west and the north faces the south. So, how many directions are there? There are four main directions, that is east, west, north and south. But we don't know about these directions. Okay, this pictures of direction, because there is no directions are given. So how we find it, in which directions that this fort, mountain, well and street lamp? Now see, many things lie between two main directions. To determine the direction in which they lie, we use subdirections. So we have to know, or we have to clarify or determine in which direction the previous picture was. Okay, so to determine those directions we use subdirections. Now let's see what are the subdirections. See, in this picture four main directions are given, that is east, west, north and south. Note that the subdirections that lie between every two adjacent main directions. See, these are the subdirections which lie between the two main directions. Example, between north and east there is subdirection called northeast. Adjacent means it is next to or near to. So subdirections is just next or near to the main directions. You will find that the names of every subdirections begin with north or south. We always state or we always write the subdirections with using either it begins with north or south. Now look at the objects given at the beginning of the lessons once again. Now we will again move backwards toward those directions, towards those pictures. Now students, tell me in which direction the fort is. The fort is between north and east. So the subdirection is northeast. The direction of this street lamp, it between the main direction south and east. So the subdirection is south east. Again, the well. Well is in between south and west. So the subdirection is south west, and the mountain is between west and north. So the subdirection is north west. So students, what we have learned? We have learned about the subdirections. Okay? Or in simple words, we can say that there are 4 subdirections that are southeast, southwest, northeast and northwest. See, northeast, northwest, southeast and southwest. The subdirection, okay, the subdirections between south and east is called southeast. The subdirection between south and west is called southwest. The subdirection between north and west is called northwest, or the subdirection between north and east is called northeast. The subdirection between the southeast, see, this south east is facing northwest and the southwest is facing northeast. Let's see this. This is the map of our Maharashtra state. See, there are so many districts in the Maharashtra state. Use the compass rose made earlier to read the map given above. First, see what is compass rose. Compass rose is an instrument to navigate the directions. Okay, it is an instrument we use to navigate the directions. I'll show you how it looks. See, this is the instrument we call compass rose to navigate the directions. See, this is south, north, east, west, southeast, southwest, northeast and northwest. This is we use to determine the directions. Now what is the question asked? Place the rose, that means compass rose, on bead. Bead is a district, and make a list of all the districts that are situated along the main directions and subdirections. Repeat this activity for other district. Now let's see the bead district. Where is the bead districts? See. This is the bead. If we place the compass rose, see, or compass rose, it is also used as a direction given in index. See, here are already given the directions: north, east, west and south. So we used these directions for the as the compass rose. Where is bead? See, this bead. Okay, we place it here. This is north, south, east and west. So tell me which districts comes or which district lie to the east of Beed district, that is Parbhani. This is on the east of Beed. Or Ahmednagar, this is lying towards the west. So Ahmednagar lie to the west of Beed. At the north, which district is there? That is Jalna. And Osmanabad is on the south side. Now let's see about the subdirections. Northwest, it's Hingoli. It's northeast. Northeast Hingoli, northwest Aurangabad, southeast Osmanabad and southwest is Pune. So students, we can also find with the help of compass rose to all the districts which lie to the west or east, north and west of which district. The next is asked, place the rose at the center of our state and note the location of your district in the state. So let's see the center. Center means middle of this state. If we place here, it is the center. So which districts comes to the east? We place at the center. Okay, center the rose. So tell me the district of R, means our district name is, that is Mumbai or Thane. Okay, so it comes to the west. Places in our surroundings are often located at some distances from one another. These places are also large in size. Maps are comparatively quite small, therefore, the distance between these places has to be shown in a very limited space on a map. See, in our surroundings, there are so many buildings, medical shops, doctors means hospitals are there, roads are there. So and they are often located at some distance from one another, means the distance between one building to another building maybe 5 meter, there may be 10 meter. Okay, so these places are also large in size. The area of that building or place, the distance between that building are in large size. So maps are comparatively quite small. If we have to draw this map on a paper, so is it possible to draw that size of building on a small paper? No, because they are comparatively small in size, which cover the entire area or entire map in a particular size of paper. Therefore, the distance between these places has to be shown in a very limited space on a map. When we draw pictures of houses, mountains, and people, we draw them to fit the size of the paper we are drawing on. If we are drawing of a house or mountain and of people, is it possible to draw a 6 feet per person to a paper? No, we have that size of paper to draw a 6 feet person on that paper. But what we do, we draw a small picture of that person. So in that way we draw the picture of houses, mountains, etc. that fit into that paper where we are drawing. It is the same while drawing maps. It is comparatively same when drawing a map. The distance between two places on the ground has to be shown in such a way that it fits the paper. So while drawing a map, we have to keep in mind that we have to uh, maintain, or we have to draw that places on the ground in some distance, or it may be in a proportionate distance. The distance on the map is proportionate, or it is in ratio or unit to the distance of the distance on the ground. Or we can say, see, यहाँ there is a picture of a building. See, there is a picture of a school, or you can say a building. The width of this building is 30 meters, but we cannot draw this 30 meters into this size of paper. So what we do, we do the proportionate, or we change the units. So we convert this, sorry, we convert this unit meters into centimeter. The width of this building is 30 meter, so we draw the 30 centimeter of a width on this paper. See, the distance between Rasika and Reshma house is 10 kilometers. Okay, the scale used on the map is 1 centimeter equal to 1 kilometer. On the map, what would be the distance between the two houses? If 1 centimeter is equal to 1 kilometer, then tell me 10 kilometers is equal to how much? Simple, it's 10 centimeter of the distance we draw on a map. So what we learn in this, the scale of a map. While drawing a map, the huge distance between the two places on the ground is shown in a such way that it fits to the small paper of map, or the distance on the map is made proportionate to the distance on the ground. Suppose the distance between the two houses, here as given Rasika and Reshma, is 10 kilometer. So the scale here used is 1 centimeter is equal to 1 kilometer. Then the distance of 1 centimeter is maintained between the two houses in a map. So students, what we have learned in this lesson? We have learned about the directions, subdirections, and scale of a map. What are the main directions? The main directions are east, west, north, and south. We humans determine the directions on the basis of sunrise and sunset. Similarly, we learn about the subdirections. The subdirections that lie between every two adjacent main directions. Okay, the main direction, sorry, the subdirections are southwest, southeast, northeast, and northwest. About the scale, while we drawing a map, we cover the whole distance, sorry, we cover the huge distance of two places on the ground in that way that fits into the small paper. So students, I hope you have understood the lesson very well. If you have any question, you can ask. Till then, jazakallah and take care.